Hey everyone, I'm Angie.
I'm Rhonda.
And we're Adventures in Nomadness. We're in Chilliwack, BC, which is in Canada. Where the hell is that? Well, we'll talk all about it. We're going to give you some of our top things to do here. So there's lots to do here in Chilliwack, like
Walk on a trail.
we are on the Vedder River Rotary Trail. This is an 8-kilometer trail and it hooks up with lots of other trails. You can literally walk for days, and this is one of the most gorgeous trails I've ever been on. So another really cool thing to do here in Chilliwack is to visit the Great Blue Heron Nature Reserve. There's about 100 nests here in this reserve. That's one of the largest populations of great blue herons in the lower mainland. Some significant conservation requirements are really needed to keep them viable, so this is a really great spot to see great blue herons. The nests are active between about March and July. There's great trails here, and the interpretive center is open from around 10 in the morning till 3 or 4 depending on the time of year. The nasty day, so we're going to check out this Dickens museum. So we're stuffed after having high tea at the Oliver's Tea Room at the British Museum. So this place we found out was started by a British couple, Annie and, sorry, I forget her husband's name now, but they both moved here to Chilliwack from England, and they didn't know each other at the time, so they met here in Chilliwack, got married. They were going to retire, and they actually owned the building. They had an office supply type of company, and anyway, they started this and decided not to retire. This was started in 2000, and it's definitely a worthwhile stop for all things English, British, Royal Monarchy, Titanic, and really good high tea. Alright, so we're at Ripple's Winery and we just tasted their wine here. This was a rather interesting experience, like really any other that we've had before at the winery.
It's an adventure.
It always is.
Always an adventure.
So in this particular winery, they have an event center. They had a wedding going on, and our experience in the past is that they keep the events sort of separate from the wine tasting. Not so much the case in this winery. So basically, we were right in the middle of a big wedding party. They did the wedding, and then they immediately just filled the open air wine tasting room, which kind of was a little bit awkward, actually.
I don't know. We weren't the only ones that were photobombing. There was a little kitten.
Yeah, the kitten was cute.
Was totally stealing the wedding.
Yeah. So if you like wine and you're in Chilliwack, this is really about the only winery in the immediate area. I think there's other wineries a little far flung from here. So if you're a wine connoisseur, I think I would say skip this one. If you just want to try some local wine, they make all organic blueberry wines, which were decent. They had a Cabernet that was decent and a couple of whites. So if you just want to try something in the area, I would say try it. But if you're a wine connoisseur, wait to the next one. Do you agree?
I would agree.
Blitz, do you agree? Okay. Yep. Dogs agree too. Hey, let's go hiking. We're going to do the Teapot Hill trail. It was really one of the closest ones to us. We're already going uphill and I'm already out of breath a little bit. We have that hill. Plus 855 feet elevation over about a mile and a half. So it'll be a good hike. This is supposed to have great views. It's hard to pick a hike here because there's so many of them. Anyway, let's get on the trail. Hey, one of the cool things about this trail, Teapot Hill, is that there's actual teapots along the way. This is the first one. What'd you think of that hike?
That was great. Exhilarating. And
Uphill all the way.
a lot of teapots and cups to count.
Yeah, it's kind of cute.
In fact, I lost count, although most of the kids seem to be at around 100 by the time they get down.
They were counting better than we were, for sure. So this is a great hike for kids if they don't mind going uphill. But take your time and count the teapots. The view up here is kind of obscured, actually. I'd heard it was supposed to be a really good view, but there's a lot of trees. And it's not really as much of a view as I thought it was going to be, but still an awesome hike.
Yeah, you can see the lake and you can see Thousand Trails.
Yeah.
Sort of.
We're way down there. How's your coffee?
Great, especially after a hike. And we now have very tired puppies, which is also a bonus.
How's it compared to Starbucks?
I'd say I'd take this over Starbucks.
Hey, hike number 2 in 2 days. This was a hot tip from a local. So hot tip for you, talk to the locals and find out where the good stuff, where the cool stuff is. We're gonna do, she pronounced it Lindeman Lake. I discovered it was spelled Lindeman, so Lindeman. Anyway, we're gonna start that hike and sounds pretty awesome.
Boy, they're awesome. It's a couple places where they're big rocks, it's hard to go across, but otherwise it's great.
This is fantastic hike.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're huffing and puffing. This is a straight uphill hike. It's freaking fantastic though, we love it.
It's great, I'm glowing.
With sweat.
No, you don't sweat, you glow. Or you glisten.
No, that's just weird. Okay, we made it to Lindeman Lake. It's really crowded here, it's gorgeous. But every gorgeous spot has lots of people, so we're gonna continue on up to Green Drop Lake. It's probably just as many people because it's probably just as gorgeous. We went past the crowds and found a really great spot to sit
Or stand.
and enjoy the view. Rhonda doesn't want to sit because it starts hurting her back. And the dogs are having a great time. I think we're gonna call it though. Unfortunately, it's super rocky. There's some big, huge boulders. It's kind of hard for these little tiny dogs and their little tiny legs. They're total rock stars though, and they're having a great time. But I think 8 miles round trip would be a little much to ask of them.
Yeah, mamas have to watch out for them because they will do whatever we ask them.
Yeah. Yes, they will. They're really good hiking dogs, but they have their limit.
We had them off leash going through those big rocks because it's safer for us and the dogs. No tripping and less falling for them.
Better than us.
Yep.
No, what'd you think of the hike?
It was great.
It was a difficult hike with dogs, I will definitely say that. It was very bouldery, so we had to scramble, with the dogs. It was definitely a much tougher hike than if we'd been by ourselves. It was worth it. The lake was beautiful, and I would definitely recommend it if you're in the Chilliwack area.
Another thing to do in Chilliwack is visit a local lake, and there are plenty of them. This particular one has a lot of activities surrounding it, and it's super popular in the summertime.
This area, there is no shortage of on-the-water activities, whether that's fishing, boating, kayaking.
It's also dog friendly. They even have a dog swimming area.
Stand-up paddleboarding, etc., etc., etc. There's also a couple of campgrounds in the area. There's 1,000 Trails right on the other side of the lake here. There's also a couple of provincial, which are kind of like state parks, campgrounds right along the lake as well. So if you are going to RV in this area, there's quite a few RV spots in Chilliwack.
Come early so you get parking.
Yeah, we're here in March and parking is already terrible. That's a really beautiful day.
They do charge, but
yeah, it was like $3.
Right.
Yeah.
So when we started this adventure in Chilliwack, I know I can say that I knew nothing about this town. Just like a lot of other places that we will visit in the future, you just have to get out there and you get surprised by the stuff you don't know about some small town that you would have normally just passed on through.
Barely scratched the surface. There's so much to do here. There's great bike trails, those golf courses, there's plenty of places to rent, tons of places to stay, whether it be campgrounds, hotels, private cottages on the lake. I mean, you name it, it's here. So it's a great spot, and if you feel like you want to come to Chilliwack, definitely do. And it's surrounded by mountains. I don't think it's that far from Whistler, so it's an outdoor lover's mecca.
This is not sponsored by the city of Chilliwack.
They did not pay us, but they do have a really great Irish pub.
Corky's.
Wherever you go around the world, you find an Irish pub.
What am I talking about?
Visit a local lake.
Oh.
We sure did, and Guinness, right on.